The Supreme Court has agreed to take on a critical case that could redefine the balance of power between Congress and federal agencies. This decision could have far-reaching consequences for workplace conditions, environmental protections, consumer safeguards, and beyond. Let's dive into what's at stake. At the center of this legal battle is the Universal Service Fund, a multi-billion-dollar program created by Congress in 1996. Administered by the Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, the fund provides discounted phone and internet services to rural schools, low-income families, and others. But here's the controversy. Critics argue that the way the fund is financed violates the Constitution. Telecommunication companies are required to contribute to the fund, and those costs are often passed on to consumers. Critics claim this operates like a tax, and that Congress has unlawfully delegated its taxing authority to the FCC. This case revisits the non-delegation doctrine, a principle that limits Congress' ability to hand over its legislative powers to federal agencies. The Supreme Court hasn't invoked this doctrine since the 1930s, but conservative groups have long argued that Congress has become too permissive, allowing agencies to make critical decisions that should be reserved for elected lawmakers. The High Court recently ruled against federal agencies interpreting vague laws without clear congressional guidance. That decision has already sparked a wave of challenges to federal regulations. Challenges to the FCC's funding mechanism have seen mixed results. Federal courts in Cincinnati and Atlanta ruled in favor of the government. However, the New Orleans-based Fifth Circuit Court ruled against it, prompting the Biden administration to appeal to the Supreme Court. Adding to the complexity, the Supreme Court has asked the parties involved to address whether the case is moot due to procedural issues in the lower courts. Although this case focuses on the FCC and the Universal Service Fund, the implications are much broader. A ruling against the government could set a precedent, limiting Congress's ability to delegate power to federal agencies across the board. Legal analyst: this isn't just about the FCC, it's about reshaping how federal agencies operate and how much power they really have. The Supreme Court's decision is expected by June, well into President-elect Donald Trump's second term, potentially giving his administration more leeway to scale back the administrative state. For those who rely on programs like the Universal Service Fund, the stakes couldn't be higher. Schools, libraries, and low-income families may face uncertainty depending on how the justices rule. This case also marks the continuation of a decades-long effort by conservatives and business interests to curb the power of federal agencies. A ruling could drastically change how laws are implemented in the United States. Do you think federal agencies have too much power? Or is this an essential part of keeping government programs running? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates on major Supreme Court cases and what they mean for you.